Have you ever locked eyes with someone and felt the ground shift beneath your soul, as if 1,000 lifetimes collapsed into a single moment, familiar, magnetic, undeniable? And yet, just as your heart begins to remember, reality hits. They are unavailable, committed, married, or simply out of reach. And you're left with a storm of questions. Why now? Why them? Why this pain? You start to wonder if the universe is playing some kind of cruel trick. Could it really bring you face to face with your twin flame, only to keep them just beyond your grasp? In today's video, we will unravel the mystery behind this spiritual paradox. Using Carl Jung's insights into the soul's architecture, we'll explore the deeper reason behind your twin flame being with someone else, and why this isn't a punishment, but a sacred initiation. You'll learn how such soul-shaking encounters are designed to awaken your deepest self, not destroy it. We'll walk through the spiritual and psychological blueprint that explains why impossibility is often the sign of a higher plan unfolding. If you stay with us until the end, something in you will shift. You'll no longer see this situation as a cruel accident, but as an invitation to ascend. Spiritual universe isn't here to comfort your illusions. It's here to awaken your soul, to help you understand that your twin flame isn't just a person. They are a mirror, a messenger, and a catalyst. This video will give you the clarity you crave, the healing you need, and the empowerment you deserve. Because sometimes, the greatest love story doesn't begin with union, it begins with awakening. Number 1. The mirror of the psyche, Jung's view of twin flames. Have you ever locked eyes with someone and felt as though the universe paused just for a moment to remind you of something ancient, something sacred, something already known? That instant recognition, that inexplicable pull, may not be about who they are on the surface, but what they awaken deep within you. And while Carl Jung never coined the term twin flame, his revolutionary theories on the psyche offer a profound framework to understand this type of connection, not as fantasy, but as a sacred psychological event. According to Jung, such intense and magnetic bonds are not random. They are archetypal. They are born from the architecture of the collective unconscious and serve a higher purpose in our evolution. These connections don't happen to us, they happen for us. To Jung, the soul does not seek comfort or conventional love. It seeks wholeness. And the purpose of encountering a twin flame, though often painful and chaotic, is to initiate the sacred process of individuation, the journey of becoming whole within oneself. When you meet your twin flame, you are not merely drawn to a person. You are colliding with a mirror of your own psyche. You are staring directly into your anima if you are masculine, or your animus if you are feminine, the inner image of your divine counterpart. Jung described the anima and animus as inner archetypes of the opposite gender within every human being, shaped by ancestral memory and collective myth. They form the unconscious template by which we recognize the other. So, when a twin flame shows up in your life, it is your inner psychic blueprint being reflected back to you with stunning clarity. This is why the pull feels so visceral, the bond so intense, and the familiarity so haunting. It's not just about them, it's about the parts of yourself they reveal. But here is the paradox. Jung understood that such connections rarely arrive wrapped in simplicity. On the contrary, they often appear in impossible packages through people who are unavailable, already partnered, or tangled in circumstances that seem to defy logic and timing. This is not a cosmic error. This is design. Because the soul does not evolve in comfort. It evolves through pressure, tension, and contrast. It evolves through fire. And that fire? It's precisely the emotional chaos that this mirror creates. Your twin flame activates your shadows as much as your light. They bring forth every hidden wound, every suppressed emotion, and every unconscious belief you've buried. The attraction is not just magnetic, it is catalytic. They stir your deepest yearning, not so you can claim them, but so you can reclaim yourself. This is the essence of Jung's individuation path. To face the inner conflicts, integrate the unconscious, and become the sovereign of your own soul. So while Jung may never have spoken the phrase twin flame, his psychological insights offer the closest thing we have to a roadmap. He reminds us that this person is not simply the one meant to complete us. They are the one meant to reflect where we are still incomplete, They are a mirror not of fantasy love, but of sacred truth. And your work is not to chase them, but to embrace the inner transformation their presence awakens within you. Number 2. The purpose of pain. Why your twin flame is married. What if the most painful moment of your life wasn't a mistake, but an invitation? What if the very thing that shattered your heart was the key to unlocking your soul? From a higher spiritual lens, your twin flame being with someone else is not a cruel twist of fate. It's not punishment. It is a sacred design, a divine orchestration meant to serve a greater transformation in both of your lives. The pain you feel is not meaningless. It's alchemy in motion. This experience isn't here to destroy you. It's here to strip away the illusions that love is ownership, that connection means possession, or that union must arrive on your schedule. You are being called into a new dimension of love, a love that transcends the ego's demands and bows to the wisdom of divine timing. This is not ordinary longing. This is sacred initiation. Carl Jung once said that the soul undergoes transformation the way metal endures fire, through pressure, contradiction, and unbearable heat. In alchemy, gold is not created by comfort, it is birthed through burning, and that is exactly what's happening to you. The tension you feel, the ache of wanting someone who cannot be yours right now, is not a cosmic accident. It is the crucible that forces your growth, deepens your understanding, and ultimately redefines how you love, not just your twin flame, but yourself and the world. You are being asked to hold love without expectation, to nurture a connection that may never fit into a conventional frame, and to trust, truly trust, that what is meant for you will never require betrayal of your integrity or begging for crumbs. You're learning to love as the soul loves, without control, without fear, and without needing to cage something so vast, so powerful, and so eternal. This experience will stretch you, it will humble you, but it will also awaken you. Every moment of aching, every tear shed in the silence, every hour you've spent wondering, why now, why them, is forging within you a deeper clarity, a higher frequency of love, and a purer connection to your own essence. Your twin flame may be married, they may appear unavailable, but the soul doesn't operate on legal contracts or social timelines. The soul communicates through energy, synchronicity, intuition, and truth. And the truth is, this situation is shaping you into someone who can hold sacred union, not from a place of need, but from a place of wholeness. So no, you are not being punished. You are being purified. You are walking through a spiritual fire that burns away illusion and reveals the gold buried within your being. And when that transformation is complete, when both you and your twin have walked through your karmic assignments and spiritual initiations, the love between you will not just be a feeling, it will be a frequency, a homecoming, a remembering. Until then, keep your heart open, but your boundaries clear. Love them, but love yourself more. Let the pain mold you, not define you, and trust that the universe never wastes a single heartbreak, especially not this one. Number 3, recognizing the signs, synchronicity and archetypal connection. Have you ever thought about someone only to have them call you minutes later, or spoken a sentence aloud just as they were about to say the exact same words? Have you felt their presence in your dreams, or sensed their emotional state from miles away, without a single message exchanged? These are not coincidences, these are signs, whispers from the universe, echoes from the soul. True twin flame connections don't reveal themselves through conventional means. They unfold through synchronicity, those uncanny moments of alignment where reality seems to conspire in your favor, bending the rules of time, distance, and reason. They emerge in patterns, in dreams, in repeated numbers, in songs that seem to speak your hidden feelings, and in the deep, quiet knowing that someone else is experiencing the same inner pull at the same time. When your twin flame is near you in energy, even if far in distance, you may notice that you begin to feel emotions that are not yours, waves of sadness, joy, or longing that don't match your circumstances, but echo what they are silently carrying. You may find yourself finishing each other's sentences or sharing thoughts telepathically. You may even dream of one another on the same night, waking with the feeling that something real just happened in a space beyond this physical realm. These experiences defy logic, because they don't belong to the mind, they belong to the soul. Carl Jung called this phenomenon archetypal recognition. It is the moment when two souls mirror back to one another, a pattern so ancient, so fundamental to the human journey, that it bypasses intellect and strikes directly at the core of the psyche. He also spoke of the transcendent function, the ability of the psyche to hold two conflicting truths at once. In the case of twin flames, that means holding both the intensity of love and the pain of separation without collapsing into despair. This is not delusion, this is not fantasy. This is the symbolic language of the soul, the way the psyche communicates truths that transcend the physical. Just because something can't be measured doesn't mean it isn't real. In fact, the most transformative truths are often the ones that live beyond the reach of reason. When you feel these signs, don't dismiss them. Don't gaslight yourself into thinking you're imagining things. These moments are glimpses into a deeper realm, a sacred mirror being held up to show you who you truly are and who your soul is eternally connected to. Recognizing these signs is not about chasing a person. It's about awakening to a divine blueprint encoded in your soul, a pattern of reunion, remembrance, and spiritual return. And once you've felt it, you cannot unknow it. The signs may come and go, the intensity may rise and fall, but the truth remains. You are not imagining this, you are remembering it. So when the synchronicities appear, when the dreams intensify, when your heart whispers truths your mind cannot grasp, pause, breathe, listen. These are not accidents, these are invitations. If you've experienced these signs, those quiet synchronicities, the dreams, the moments that defy logic, I invite you to pause and reflect. What have you felt that no one could explain? What signs have spoken to you in whispers only your soul could hear? Share your story in the comments, or if you're not ready to share yet, simply type, "I trust the signs meant for me." This small act affirms your inner knowing and anchors your journey. Your voice might just be the confirmation someone else needs to hear today. Let's move forward, because the next step reveals why separation isn't a punishment, but a path. Number 4. The higher lessons. Evolution through separation. There comes a point on the twin flame journey where the pain of separation no longer feels like punishment, but like sacred preparation. When the physical union is blocked by circumstance, by timing, or by the presence of another partner, it is not a cosmic mistake. It is an invitation for the soul to evolve beyond the confines of romantic longing and step into a deeper, more spiritual love. This separation is not meant to break you, but to remake you. In the absence of physical togetherness, you are guided inward. What was once an external connection becomes a profound internal communion. Your longing for your twin flame begins to shift, not toward obsession or despair, but toward divine patience, emotional sovereignty, and unconditional love that exists without strings, timelines, or guarantees. You start to realize that true love does not demand possession. It does not seek to own or control. Instead, it desires joy for the other, even when that joy unfolds without you in the frame. And this, perhaps, is one of the most difficult yet sacred lessons. To love someone so deeply that their happiness becomes your prayer, even if that happiness exists outside of your embrace. Through this soul-stretching experience, you begin to see and dissolve the karmic patterns that have defined your previous relationships. Patterns of neediness, attachment, fear of abandonment, and attempts to control outcomes. You no longer love compulsively, hoping for a return on investment. Instead, you begin to love consciously, from a place of inner wholeness. This kind of love does not chain, it frees. It does not grasp, it radiates. Carl Jung believed that suffering only becomes meaningful when it is integrated, when we allow pain to become the raw material for transformation. And that is precisely what happens here. As you sit in the sacred fire of separation, you are burned clean of illusions. You are called to look beyond the ego's desires and hear the soul's deeper calling. That pain, once unbearable, becomes your teacher. It chisels you into purpose, into truth, into a vessel capable of holding divine love, not just for another, but for the world. In this light, your twin flame's marriage is not the obstacle you once thought it was. It is the activator. It presses against the very edges of your ego, revealing the parts of you still tied to expectation and reward. It tests your trust in divine timing and calls you to anchor into spiritual maturity. This union, though hidden behind worldly impossibility, awakens your highest self, your truest path, and your soul's mission. The married twin flame does not arrive to complete you. They arrive to catalyze you, to mirror back the parts of you ready to awaken, to trigger your transformation not through romance, but through resistance. And in the end, the most beautiful alchemy of all occurs. You become the love you once sought. You become the peace you once prayed for. You become the soul you were always meant to be. Imagine a woman named Alina who met her twin flame during a spiritual retreat in Bali. The connection was instant, soul, deep, electrifying, undeniable. In each other's eyes, they saw home. But there was one heartbreaking truth. He was married, and not in a failing or loveless union, but in a stable, respectful partnership built over many years. At first, Alina was shattered. Her heart wanted to fight, to convince, to claim. But instead of clinging, she surrendered. She stepped back, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. She began to ask herself, what if this love wasn't meant to lead to union, but to awakening? Over time, she redirected her energy into healing childhood wounds, launching a holistic practice and deepening her connection with the divine. And the more she let go of needing him to be her future, the more she became her own home. Years later, she would say that his presence in her life was not to stay, but to open a doorway. His love broke her open, not for possession, but for purpose. And in that purpose, she finally understood what it meant to love without attachment and to evolve through the sacred fire of separation. Number 5. The sacred waiting, trusting divine timing and the path. What if the question was never about whether union with your twin flame would happen, but about whether you are becoming the person who can hold that kind of love when it arrives? In the realm of soul connections, there is a higher intelligence at play, one that transcends logic, calendars, and expectations. Divine timing doesn't bend to our desires, nor does it obey the ticking clock of our impatience. It moves like the seasons, quietly and with purpose, preparing each soul through experience, challenge, and inner transformation. When it comes to union with your twin flame, the universe is not asking for your worry, it's asking for your trust. This sacred connection is not a race to be won, but a path to be walked with awareness. If union is part of your soul's blueprint in this lifetime, it will manifest not through force or demand, but through natural alignment. It will unfold organically, like petals in the sunlight, when both individuals have done the internal work necessary to sustain such a powerful love. But here's the deeper truth. Even if physical union never comes to pass, the connection still holds immense value. It still serves a sacred purpose in your spiritual evolution. Carl Jung once said that the goal of life is not happiness, but meaning. In that light, the twin flame journey is not about reaching some final destination, but about discovering the richness of meaning hidden in the in-between moments, the longing, the silence, the growth. These seemingly painful pauses are not punishments. They are sacred intervals where the soul deepens its wisdom and purifies its love. In the absence of your twin, you are invited to reclaim yourself, to become whole, to anchor in your own energy so fully that whether you walk beside another or not, you are still complete. This path asks you to love without condition, to desire someone's happiness, even if it does not include you. It challenges you to break free from attachment, control, and the illusion that love must look a certain way to be real. It teaches you that real love is not about possession, it is about presence. It is about becoming a mirror of unconditional love, so clear and radiant that you reflect back to your twin the truth of who they are meant to be. So, what is your task in this sacred waiting? It is not to count days or chase outcomes. Your task is to surrender, to grow, to heal the wounds that surface in the quiet, to live your life fully, passionately, and with purpose, regardless of whether you ever share a life with your twin flame in the conventional sense. Because the treasure is not the union. The treasure is the becoming. The version of yourself that this journey awakens is the real miracle. And whether your twin walks beside you one day or remains a distant echo in your soul's story, you will have already won because you chose to love deeply, live truthfully, and trust the divine path, even when you couldn't see where it led. Loving someone you cannot have, especially your married twin flame, can feel like the cruelest twist of fate. It can leave you questioning your worth, your sanity, and even the universe itself. But beneath that ache lies a sacred invitation. You are not here to chase love in the outer world. You are here to embody it from within. This journey isn't about possessing another person, it's about reclaiming yourself. It's about becoming the vessel of the divine love your soul was always meant to hold. When you stop grasping for physical union and begin listening to your soul's quiet wisdom, everything changes. You begin to understand that the true twin flame path is not about getting, but becoming. Becoming more open, more awake, more whole, more willing to trust the unseen process. The pain you feel is not a punishment, it's the fire that refines you. And in that transformation, you no longer need to be completed by someone else. You remember that you already are. This is the real union, a soul-deep merging that takes place within your own being, a love that does not demand possession, but instead offers liberation. When you let go of needing your twin flame to choose you, and instead choose yourself completely, something sacred begins. You rise, you glow, you return to your truth, and ironically, this inner wholeness is what draws everything meant for you back to your life, whether or not that includes your twin in the physical. So today, let this be your vow, to trust the divine intelligence behind every twist in your path, to honor the sacred detour, to understand that every no is often the universe's way of preparing you for a higher yes. If this resonates with your heart, let it echo in the comments below by writing, "I trust the divine purpose of love." Your words are a declaration, a contract with your soul. And if you're ready to keep walking this sacred path with guidance, truth, and community, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to the channel. There is another step waiting just below this video. Watch it next and walk with us toward the love that begins and ends in truth.